So, you know, myself as a trainer, the shows are one way for us to interact with the killer whales. And frankly, it's exciting. We respond from the audience gets us excited. Of course, the animals, I think, can feed off of that energy. So it's just one way that we interact with them. You know, people come up to me every single day and they ask, you know, how do I get your job? Well, people are asking this because they are inspired. They see something that's happening. They see that connection in the show. So I don't know too many jobs out there where people are asking, hey, how do you get a job writing for, you know, Voice of San Diego? You know, this
all the time.
Actually, yeah. sorry.
Not as much as the animal trainer.
Sorry. Snap. Wow.
Well, let me ask Susan. You study, how important are the shows to SeaWorld's evolution as a company?
I think they're the key to the brand. I think the human-animal interaction is part of the brand that's been developed over 50 years. And I think, you know, one of the reasons people expect it is because it's been so central over, you know, up until pretty recently, up until the last couple of years. And it combines, it really expresses a lot of tension because it combines the fascination with these animals with an enthusiasm for very subtly, but not maybe so subtly, humans being in charge of the animals. So there's this big, beautiful, powerful, wild animal that is also being submissive or controlled by a human being. It's done in a very skillful, very artful way, but that's, I think, essentially what people are seeing in the shows. And it's very interesting to me that the trainers have, you know, not been able to be in the water since the OSHA decision. It shows that this brand, you know, can be forced to change.
Have you seen negative effects from that? Like on the health of the animal?
No, there's not immediate negative effects. You know, it does limit the interactions you can do with the animals. It limits the, you know, one of the important things about being in the water with the animals is the fact they're used to that, right? It's part of their lifestyle. When they're with them in the water all the time, you know, that's part of what they want. So when you take that away from them, you're actually depriving them of something they're used to doing. I mean, a perfect example was Keiko. You know, when I was talking to a friend of mine.
Keiko, an orca.
Keiko is an orca, yeah. If you haven't heard of him, I won't describe any more to you than that. But Keiko was an animal that was in the Oregon State Aquarium for some time. And he was just an animal that had grew up with dolphins and humans. He didn't have another killer whale companion, but the interaction was everything to him. I was talking to a friend that was the curator at Oregon State Aquarium, and they got in the water with him every day. They're putting in toys. You know, one of his favorite games was to go out on a raft and have Keiko knock it over and turn it upside down. This human bond is incredibly important to these animals, and to take it away from them, certainly, now I can't read their mind, and I haven't seen any changes in health parameters, but I would imagine that it would have an effect on it.
Yeah, so I want you to talk about
I have two comments. One is in response to what Christy said. I would hope that after a show, if it was really doing what SeaWorld claims it's doing and what we all hope it's doing, which is inspiring people to care more about the oceans, more about the animals in the oceans, that they would come up to her and say, how can I do more for the oceans? How can I do more for these animals out in the wild? The fact that they come up to her and say, how do I get your job? Means that they are, in fact, selling a product. The product is the bond. And in fact, that is exactly what the attorney said in the OSHA hearing. She argued to the judge that what they are selling, and she used that word, what they are selling is the bond between the trainer and the whale, and to take it away, as Todd put it, by taking them out of the water is harming them materially. The judge didn't accept that argument and ruled against them. But that, to me, was an enormous admission that, in fact, they are not purveying education about conservation and helping these animals in the wild, but a purely captive element, which is this bond between trainer and whale. which I don't deny for a moment is real. It's clearly real. They are intelligent social animals. But that's not what they're supposed to be doing.